guys, welcome to your last day. Oh, it's bittersweet, isn't it? Last day of Rocky Railway VBS virtual. So glad that you're here with us on the last day. And you know, we get to do something really exciting, really fun on our last day of craft. So I hope you're ready for the surprise. But before we do that, can someone remind me of our point for the day? Does anybody know what that is? Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. That's right. And so today, the craft that we're going to make, there's a couple of fun things going on. One, it involves paint. So I want you, before we start, to be very, very careful when we do this craft. I would suggest doing it somewhere on a table or on the counter of your kitchen, somewhere where if you spill, it'd be easy to clean up and won't stain anything or hurt anything. So I will give you a minute maybe to think about where you could do that, or maybe you're already there, and that's great. I also would recommend that if you're a little bit smaller, if you're a little bit younger, I would recommend that you would get someone to do this with you, just to make sure that we don't spill or get it on anything that might not be a good idea, okay? All right, well, the second fun thing of today's craft is, guess what? I'll let you in on a little bit. It's not for you. Uh-oh. The craft isn't for me, it's not for you? Well, then who is it for, Chelsea? You might be wondering, and I'm glad you asked. You see, today we're talking about how Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. Now, can you think of someone who's a good friend to you? I can think of quite a few people who are good friends to me that Jesus has blessed me with in my life. Can you think of someone who's a good friend to you? If you can, say their name out loud. Maybe they're sitting next to you. Maybe it's one of your friends that you know from school or church. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's your sibling, your brother or sister. Maybe it's your mom and dad. Our mom and dads can be friends too. Grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, cousin. Who is a good friend to you? Well, this craft that you're going to make today is not for you, but it's for someone who is a good friend to you. And you get to decide who it's for. But it's for that good friend in your life. Okay? So because it's for them, we're going to write a little message on them. This is a way that we get to say thank you for being a good friend to us. All right, these are some of the supplies we're going to need for this craft that are in your packet. You're going to need your big piece of white construction paper, your couple of sponges, your circle sponge that's on the stick, a marker, some paper plates, and some paint. Now, it's not in your packet, but it might be handy to have some paper towels or a napkin, just in case, because the paint can get a little messy. Okay, so first thing to start off with, I know you're gonna want to jump into the paint, but not quite yet, okay? So we're gonna grab our paper, okay? And we're not gonna put it like this, long ways, tall. We're gonna put it this way, okay? Where it goes from left to right, right to left, long. Kind of, I don't know. It's just longer this way, okay? So not this way, okay? So I want you to put it on a flat surface, whether that's the table, the counter, okay? You're gonna put it on a flat surface. I'm gonna put it right here just so you guys can see it, okay? And I'm gonna scoot it over just a tad. So we make sure we're in there, okay? So go ahead and lay it flat on that surface, okay? All right, and then you're gonna wanna take your marker. Doesn't matter what color, mine just happens to be black, we're gonna take your marker and we're gonna write something on there. So I'm gonna help you write it, but if maybe you have trouble spelling or are learning right now, no problem. Grab someone who maybe can help you with writing these words. Okay? You guys ready? Okay, so we're gonna take our marker, okay? Or it's like a little thank you note, okay? So we're gonna stay right here at the top and we're gonna write, thanks for being a good friend. We're gonna tell that good friend thank you, right? Okay? So we're gonna write thanks, T-H-A-N-K-S. Thanks. Thanks. Okay, leave a space. Thanks. For, don't put the number 4, we're gonna write 4. Okay, F-O-R. For. It's kind of a short one. Okay. Thanks for, what comes next? Being. Okay, so leave a space. We're going to write being. We're going to start with a B. B. E. I. N. G. Being. Thanks for being. Okay, you guys are doing great. Thanks for being. What comes next? A. I love that word. It's so easy to write. It's one letter. Guess what letter it is? A. Yes. Thanks for being space A. Okay. 2 more. Space being a what? Thanks for being what? A kind of okay friend? An average friend? No, a good friend, right? So we're gonna write good. Ready? G O O D. Good. Good. A good. We're gonna leave a space and we're gonna add one more word. Who are we giving this to? A good what? Friend. That's right. We're gonna write friend. Okay? So here we go. F R I E N D. You know, we're excited about it. We talked about this in one of our crafts this week. We're excited. So when we're excited about something, we put at the end of the sentence an exclamation mark because we're exclaiming it. Thanks for being a good friend. All right? And if you want to get really even more excited, you can even underline good friend. Okay? Very nice. You guys got it? If you need a little extra time, you can always pause the video. Okay? Take a couple extra minutes. All right? Very good. Thanks for being a good friend. Okay. So now comes the really fun part, okay, is you're going to make a picture for them. But what is our theme for this week? Do you guys know? We've talked a lot about trains, right? About a rocky railway that trains go on. So you guys are going to make them a beautiful train. But instead of drawing all of it, you get to use paint. That's right. This is the part you got to be very careful, okay? So a train, we know trains to have what they're called is cars, and not like an actual beep beep kind of car, but they're kind of these boxes that the train pulls, and they're called cars, okay? So we're gonna make cars in a line here like a train. And to do that, we've got our cars, we've got sponges. So we're gonna dip the sponge into the paint, and we're gonna be able to push it onto the paper to make our cars for our boxes for our cars. Our cars for the train. I can't talk this morning. That's right, cars for our train, okay? So in order to do that, you've got some paper plates, okay? Right, if you at home you have more and you want to pull out something that's a little bit bigger, to use, you can do that, but run that by mom and dad or whoever's at the house with you, okay? All right, so you have a couple of colors in your packet that you've been given, but if you're doing it with someone else and they have a couple different colors, you guys can share. Or if you've got your own paint at home, feel free to use that. You don't have to just use the ones that I gave you. But if you don't, there should be a couple colors. I've got 2 colors here. I've got what's called magenta, just kind of like a red, pink, purple color-ish. And then I've got violet or purple, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of this paint on my plate. Now you might wanna shake it up a little bit. It doesn't hurt to shake it up. Shake, 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 okay? And be very careful. You're gonna open it and you're gonna put a little bit of paint on your plate, okay? You don't need a whole lot. You can always add more, okay? So start with less. You can always add more, okay? So I put a little bit of purple on there. And then I'm gonna put some of my magenta on there. Shake, shake, shake. And I'm gonna put it on the other plate, right in the middle here. Okay? All right, got it? All right, so now you're gonna take your sponge, okay? And what I want you to do is on that plate with your paint, you're gonna take the sponge and you're gonna kind of cover that one side of your sponge with that paint. You might have to move your sponge around a little bit to get it covered. Do the best you can to cover the whole side with that paint, okay? Did what I could on mine, right? You got yours? So it should have your paint on that one side, okay? Now's the fun part. Now's when you get to put it on the paper. So you probably should be able to fit 4 cars on here, okay? You can put them in any pattern you want, but I'm gonna do 2 cars in this color and then 2 in the other color. 2 plus 2 makes 4. Okay, so I'm gonna start with purple. I'm gonna go to kind of the very edge, and I'm gonna push this one down on my paper. And lift it up. We've got our car, all right? Now you should be able to get 1 more car out of that amount of paint. So I'm gonna leave a space here for my other color, and I'm gonna go right here and put another one. But you can do whatever pattern you want. If you want to do all one color, that's fine. If you want to do 2 purple or 2 of one color in the front and 2 of another color in the back, that's fine. I'm going to do purple, pink, purple, pink. So I've got 2 of my cars, pretty fun. Okay, and at your own pace, I'm going to go ahead and take my other sponge though, since I already did those 2, and I'm gonna cover this one in this pink. These are really bright, fun colors. Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna do my other one. So I'm gonna do this one right here. I'm gonna try to keep them in a line too, so they're not all over the page. We kind of want to keep them right in a row, just like a train is right in a row. Okay, there's one. That one's really bright. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this one here. All right, let's see. Perfect. Okay, we've got our cars for our train. You know what, we'll wanna let that dry for a second. So you can even fan it like this. This helps dry it a little bit. Okay, it should dry pretty fast, but we're gonna do this. Okay, while that's drying, I'm gonna do the wheels. The train needs wheels, right? So I'm gonna pick a color of paint here that I have, and I think I'm gonna go with the purple. So I ran out of purple, so I'm gonna add a little bit more to my plate. Okay, here, I'll be very careful. Okay, and we need wheels. Now what shape is a wheel? Is it a square? Is it a triangle? You guessed it. It's a circle, which means you're gonna need your circle sponge, it's a circle, and on the stick there to make your wheels, okay? So just like with the sponge, this is also a sponge. You're gonna dip it into your paint a little bit. You might wanna spread it out over the circle here. You can kind of even do this to make sure the whole bottom side is covered, like that, okay? And we're gonna make some wheels on our train. So I'm gonna go like this, right on the bottom of my train. It dribbled a little bit. And I've got my wheels for my train. Look at that, it's starting to really look like a train. Don't you think? I think so. Okay. Now, that's all the paint we're going to use for right now. So I would say give that a minute to dry. Okay, we don't want to be too eager here. We're going to let it dry a little bit. Okay? And while we let it dry, maybe talk with the person next to you, tell them a little bit about that good friend. Or maybe they are the good friend. Oh, then it's not a surprise anymore, huh? We're just gonna let that dry a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and let yours dry for a minute or two, and then we'll come back and finish it together. All right, did you finish? Is it dry? Hope so. Now we're gonna add our finishing touches on our train, okay? So first of all, we need to connect our train cars because the cars, they're not connected right now. So the one can't pull the one behind it and the one in front behind it can't pull the one behind it. So we gotta connect them. So go ahead and take your marker, okay? Oops, I dropped mine, picked it up. Okay, and we're gonna connect our train cars. So we're gonna draw a line to connect each one. So from this one to this one, right about here, I'm gonna draw a line. Oh, now they're connected. Okay, so now I'm gonna do that for the other ones. From this one to this one, connected. Good. Make mine a little bit darker here. And then this one to this one, they're connected. Very good. Okay. Now, on Monday we talked about that trains had something on the front and it helped bring the smoke out of the train from the fire and the coal that was inside, helping the train to run. Does anybody remember what that is called? It's called a smokestack. Yes, we're gonna draw a smokestack on our front train. Okay, so you can pick whichever end. I'm gonna go with this side as my front, okay, and we're gonna draw a smokestack together. So basically it's like a little rectangle, okay, draw a rectangle. I draw a rectangle right there at the front of my train, okay, and you can even color that in. I would suggest coloring that in, okay. All right, there's our smokestack. You got it. Now what needs to be coming out of the smokestack? Smoke, you're right. Smoke needs to be coming out of the smokestack, okay? So I like to do just a swirly kind of line. So you can do it however you want, but this is how I'm gonna do it. This is my smoke. Kind of make a swirly line just like that. And you can do one or two of them, kind of like that. That's my smoke coming out of my train. Now if you want to get fancy, you don't have to, but you can also draw a track on the bottom. Kind of make a line here that my train is going on a track. You don't have to do that portion though, only if you want to. And now your train is done. Well done, everybody. It looks great. Your train looks great. Now, here comes the fun part. You get to take your masterpiece here, your train, once it's all dry and ready to go, and I want you to give it to that good friend. Maybe you don't really see them right now. That's okay. I know we can't really see a lot of people in person, but if this person's in your family and you see them every day, why don't you give it to them and say, thank you for being a good friend to me? Or, I don't know, maybe you could have your mom or dad or grandma, grandpa help you. Maybe you could drop it off at their front door and surprise them. Or maybe they live far away. Maybe you could take a picture of it and send it to them on your phone, on your mom or dad's phone or grandpa's phone or whoever's phone, so they can see it. But I'm going to encourage you to find a way to give this to your good friend and let them know that they are a good friend to you. And you know what? With Jesus' power, we can be good friends. So with Jesus' power, you can be a good friend, a good neighbor to those around you. And we're going to hear a little bit more about that in a little bit. So thank you for taking the adventure this week of joining us on the Rocky Railway on this awesome train in each of your own homes. It's been so fun. Thank you for joining me for this craft time, and we hope that you had a great time and that are reminded about Jesus' power, and that Jesus' power helps pull us through. I hope I get to see you guys soon, but until then, know that you are loved and valued and cherished by our Savior. Bye, guys.